Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. New bag of coffee. So here in Vermont, we make a lot of things. You know, small population, but we make a lot of our own stuff. Of course, we have Ben and Jerry's ice cream. We have Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, which is turning into Keurig and going to move away someday. It'll be sad. But we've got a lot of very small breweries and vineyards and distilleries and coffee houses. And so this cup of coffee is from a bag of Vermont Artisan Tea Company Artisan Blend that I just opened and just ground. So it's super fresh, super awesome. That's good coffee. If this show was much more involved and warranted sponsors, I would wear like a different t-shirt every day and I would have a different cup of coffee every day. But that would require help. There aren't that many of you. The show's growing. It's actually been pretty cool to watch. A good day, something like 40 of you watch this show. That's pretty, well, between video and audio. I think that's pretty neat. Doesn't really take much of my time. I gotta sit here with this cup of coffee anyway. Might as well talk to somebody. Good morning, Stacy. Stacy writes, "Good morning, friend. We are few but proud." Yes, I appreciate that. So a question came in yesterday, off yesterday's episode. Do I watch and or enjoy World's Strongest Man competitions, strongman competitions? And actually I do. I think they're really interesting. If you've never seen a strongman competition, it usually involves, at least when it's on TV, it involves these massive human beings picking up and moving massive objects. But strongman competition, I've gotten to know strongman competition a little bit through CrossFit. There's some overlap there. And strongman competition isn't just for people who, are 350 pounds of solid muscle. There are weight classes, and it's kind of neat to watch. If you might have seen this as you're flipping channels. They're pulling semi trucks with a rope. They're picking up kegs and throwing them over their head. Crazy things like that. Yeah, it's neat, and I've done a little bit of it. Big concrete stones and rocks and things like that. And it's a good time. There's a series on Netflix. I think it's called Strongman, and they're traveling around to different areas, different countries, and profiling the local strength sports. So like the first episode was I think it was in Mexico, and showing things there, and then they went to Scotland, and they were showing these big rocks that have been around for hundreds and thousands of years, some of them, that these rocks are famous for people picking them up. I mean, it's pretty basic, right? But at the same time, that's pretty cool. They know that this rock has been here for this long, and some of them have logs. Like there was this one older woman who had a house, and one of these rocks was at her house, and she had a log of who had come and picked up the rock and not picked up the rock, and when they did that. And that log, I believe she said, had been, like, she wasn't the first person to keep the log or something. It was kind of neat. It's kind of neat. I enjoy historical traditions like that. And what's more fundamental than the ability to pick things up and put them down? It's good for you. So good. So yesterday, what was yesterday? Yesterday was Monday. Did a bunch of work, had a couple meetings. Didn't get outside. Didn't work out. That's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Today I'm gonna work out. Got a bunch of work lined up. I think I have 2 podcast interviews. Yeah, pretty sure I've got 2 going on today. Which, the challenge with that is it keeps me switching gears. And I've got a little bit of time in between. I want to say there's like a 2-hour block in between, but I've got to eat lunch in there. So it's not going to be easy for today to be productive, but I'll try. Right. I honestly don't know what my perfect setup for productivity is, because if I sat down with all of my work and I had a fully open day with no meetings or calls or interviews or anything like that, I would feel like I had enough. I would feel like I had so much time I didn't have to be motivated. And that doesn't work so well. That's hard. Because the moment I start my day without feeling motivated, I don't get it done. I've actually had that happen. Where, we start the day and, I'll relax and have a cup of coffee and watch a little bit of TV. Then I'll make breakfast and, I'll clean up the house and, get to my desk at like 9 and, next thing I know, it's like 4:30 and I'm like halfway done with my work. It's like, what's happening? It doesn't work well. So instead, what I try to do is motivate myself by saying, hey, this is what you have to get done today, no matter how long it takes. If it takes 3.5 hours, you're done. And I feel guilty on those days. And I usually keep working. Sometimes I just sit at my desk and realize I've been sitting here for an hour doing nothing. It's weird. I'm the boss. Nobody knows. But I want to be productive. I want to feel productive. And I think a lot of times we tie productivity or the idea of productivity to time, but it's not the same. Obviously, you can be more productive with more time. But it doesn't always work out that way. What else? It's pretty bright out. That's cool. It was really cold last night. I didn't sleep so well because I kept feeling cold. I blame the cat. It's somehow the cat's fault. I'm not sure how. It didn't snow last night. Yeah. I could go back to bed for like another 3 hours, I suspect. I slept well last night, just not enough. Didn't catch up from the weekend. Slept a bunch Sunday night, but that wasn't enough. It's a long weekend. It's a good weekend. So, remember that productivity is not necessarily a reflection of time. We've all got these different ways of staying motivated and figuring out what you got to do and all that. And obviously this is harder if you work for someone else. But try it. How quickly can you get all your work done? Make a game out of it. Get all your work done and then go to lunch and then come back from lunch and just pretend you're working. I don't know. Even if you can't slack off, even if you're not in some position where you can do that, just try it. Try it once. See what happens. It's good information to have. You never know. Send me more questions. Send me more questions about anything. I like answering questions. I think we've got a Q&A episode coming up in a couple weeks on Martial Arts Radio. Yesterday's episode's done really well with Coach Joe Saunders. There we go. The last 2 Monday episodes have been with people who have the same initials. We had James Southwood and Joe Saunders. So they swap in my head. I'm trying to keep them straight. All right. Remember, we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, and that's the best place to leave questions in the section below. Of course, you can catch the show later in your podcast feed, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Or you can even watch it at firstcupwithjeremy.com. That's where we have the latest episode every day. And if you haven't, check out Martial Arts Radio, whistlekickmartialartsradio.com, or, of course, right here on YouTube. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.